Hello, my name is Randall Borden. I'm an attorney here in Virginia, and I'm going to discuss today how the courts calculate child support. Someone obviously needs to file in court for child support, and obviously that person is going to be receiving the child support, and they want the other person to be paying the child support. Virginia has in their code a child support schedule, which has actually been turned into a child support calculator. So the information that goes into that is the income of both of the parents, and that is total income. So it's income from working, income from dividends, that kind of thing, all the income from all sources. You have to know the amount of daycare, that's work-related daycare, which is reasonable for the area. Then you have to have the child's portion of health insurance, which is the family plan minus the individual plan. So whoever is paying child support needs to go to their employer or their human resources department and find out how much for a single person, what is the cost of health insurance for a single person. Then the child's portion is calculated as the family plan minus the individual plan. You would also make adjustments if there are any special needs for the children, say diabetes treatment, unreimbursed medical care, that kind of thing. But those are basically the four numbers that you need to calculate child support in Virginia. That assumes there is primary physical custody with one parent. Now, if there is shared custody, then those numbers are adjusted for how much time the child spends with each parent. In addition, adjustments are made if one of the parents is paying child support for another child, and the payor gets credit, the person paying the child support gets credit for the amount of child support that they're paying out for the other child. There also would be adjustments made, and this is a fairly new change to the Virginia law, adjustments made for a blended family. So for example, if a child spends all of the time with one parent, then there's a second child that goes back and forth 50% of the time, or then another child that spends all the time with the other parent, then each of those would have to factor in each of the time that each child is spending with the other parent is also factored in. So, and also there's another complication that arises if one of the parents is self-employed, because the income for that parent is not the total gross income. The income for that parent is the gross income minus the reasonable and necessary expenses for the business. So it's approximately the profit of the business, although it is adjusted for deductions like depreciation that do not have a cash outlay. And it's unfortunately if that parent, the self-employed parent, chooses not to cooperate, then it's very difficult to determine what the proper amount of income is for that parent. And being self-employed, there's a number of ways the number of games that parent can engage in to manipulate their income. They could stop collecting their bills. They could tell their customers to pay someone else to divert the revenue. They could falsify their expenses. They could charge up a lot of items and pass them off as business expenses when in reality they are personal expenses, or they're overbuying supplies for their business and deducting them off as expenses. And then once the court makes the decision, then of course they can go back to a normal cash flow. I've even had one case where the father entirely and completely shut down his business and went to work for a friend under the table just to avoid paying child support. When that happens, the child support case becomes very expensive because you then have to recreate, impute income, that's the actual term, impute income to the parent who is not working or to the parent who is underemployed. And that can take study, expert witnesses, things like that to inform the court as to how much that person should be making in that particular position, job, education level, skills, that kind of thing. So although it seems very simple at the beginning, you just need the income of each parent, health insurance, and daycare, it can very rapidly get into a very complicated situation, which unfortunately one parent can manipulate, putting large expenses on the other parent to prove what's the proper amount. So I'm Randall Borden, and I hope that was informative to you. I have an office here in Fairfax, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C., and please give me a call. Thank you.